Neon City, the sound pretty. Come on, man, you start to shine. Got my friends, got my lover. Come on tonight, you better run for cover. Neon City, the sound
Episode 15, hello.
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 Oh, you caught me going through my
Hello.
bag.
I know, I didn't do a fade out there. I'll have to put it in on the edit.
Oh
I just
my God.
just
What's he
going
got?
through my back scratcher.
Torture tool.
A back scratcher.
Ah. Oh, everyone needs a back. If you're a serious writer, you need a back scratcher. All those people that write
What?
books, they never go without them.
Oh dear. Okay, right. So we're episode 15, Pompey Eclectic. And hello, everyone. I mean, hello, you. And who have we got with us today then? There's all three of us, isn't there?
Yeah.
Shout out your names. Tell them who you are.
I am Shaolin Punk or Shaolin Phil. Greetings.
And Swampy.
Ah,
That's
very
it, really.
conservative and intelligent sounding Swampy. And me, Simon the Cut. We've never told you why I'm called Simon the Cut, but I'm sure we will go over that at some point.
Well, didn't you mention it
Eh.
in the first? You didn't really go into detail, but I remember you said something in the
Yeah.
first ever
So-
pod, which you can watch by looking back on them. And that
Yeah, on
amazing
YouTube.
thing.
Yeah.
Listen
Yeah.
to on all good platforms. Things. Yeah, podcast platforms. Yeah, shall I explain it now then? So the reason I'm called Simon the Cut is because I play pool a lot, have done for about 3 years, and the mate that I play pool with a lot calls me Simon the Cut because I like playing cut shots. I can't resist them, even though they're difficult and risky if there's a cut shot. So that's, for anyone who doesn't know, that's where you use the white ball to hit the very edge of a colour ball and then knock it almost at a right angle.
And into someone's pint of beer if you're not careful.
Quite possibly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, which is why we use cans.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
right. Okay, so what are we doing today?
Well,
Books.
today, yeah, books. That's why I did my back scratcher thing. It was a clever lead into a tool, an implement, apart from the pen or the quill or the typewriter or the laptop of today's writers. They get itchy backs. Like I do sometimes. You get itchy, and you need one of these to get those places that are hard to reach.
You need to see a doctor, mate.
Yeah.
When
you're
you
not
said
real-
quill, I was thinking the pen is mightier than the sword, which is a really nice old phrase. Is that Shakespeare?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, that's amazing. I think it was Shakespeare that first said that, and it's a true, because with a sword you can slice down armies. Well, a few people do you get too tired, but with a pen you can command, you control, and influence the minds of entire nations.
Or like Rick Mail and Adrian Edmondson, you can just poke it in your opponent's eye,
Or poke them in the
Yeah.
eye.
in which case it may be
Or-
mightier than
A candle's good as well. Candle in the eye.
candle in the
Candle
eye.
in the eye.
I've not
It reminds me
tried
of
that one.
I thought that was an Elton John song. No, it's not. Is it?
I lived my life with a candle in the
Candle
eye.
in the eye.
Oh, where did we get that from?
That
We better get on and do something then.
That was Guest House Paradiso, just in case no one got the reference to Candle in the Eye. But
Yeah.
yes, let's
Look,
move on.
This is dead air. We need to get on and do something because we're going to lose our listener otherwise. Right. Favourite books we're going to talk about today, aren't we? So this is our personal favourites, completely subjective, so don't hate us if we don't say your book. The Bible's not allowed, dictionary's not allowed.
Bible, what?
thesaurus
I suppose that was
not
my...
allowed, and any other kinds of dinosaurs are not allowed. And who wants to go first?
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Go for it. Tell us one of your favourite books. Tell us about the author and the book and what you can
Right.
remember.
Well, So, if I say Sue Townsend,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I think of Adrian Mole.
Adrian Mole, yeah.
there you go.
I never would have guessed
Adrian
that.
Mole, aged 13 3/4.
Yeah. Quite
Ah.
And, interesting fact for you, where was I born?
Leicester.
Yeah.
Where's Sue Townsend from?
From
Germany.
Leicester, lad.
Where
she-
was Adrian Mole?
Leicester.
Was it based in Leicester?
Yeah.
Oh, I
There you
didn't know.
go. So that's why it's become because it's a diary, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not just one diary. She did a whole series of these books from
Yeah,
age
that's
13
right.
3/4 up until he was like politician or something. I think he became a
Yeah,
politician
from
eventually.
what I remember.
But
I never really got that far into it, but the early ones I always with Pandora is
oh,
Love of His
Pandora,
Life
she was
at school.
gorge. Oh, Pandora.
Do you know, I can't remember a lot of this stuff. There's some.
I remember the song still. I'm always in
Profoundly
love
in
with,
love with Pandora.
Yeah, it's even harmonised then, kind of.
Yeah.
Did they or did they not turn it into a children's TV series?
They did indeed. And do you
Oh,
know what I was doing?
Yeah.
At about 1 o'clock this morning at work, I
What?
actually watched an episode.
Oh, are
Did
they on
you?
YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to watch them again.
Excellent.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Because I know she did quite a few books, and I don't think they did one of her final books as a series as well. But she died. She never got to finish Adrian Mole's like tale because she died of cancer, didn't she?
Yeah.
2000.
I think she died aged. You might have to. Don't quote me on this.
That's all right. Go for it.
She died at age 68 and 8
She was,
days.
yeah, she and not in 3/4.
No.
But she was she was a great. I liked her wit. I liked the fact she was it was a very knowledgeable about teenage boys, you know, a very sort of growing up. But the first book, very coming of age, but she kind of nailed it. Even though she was a girl, she kind of got under the skin of Adrian and his crush on Pandora, and it was a good read. It was very witty and very funny and relatable, I guess, especially for someone living in Leicestershire in the swamps.
Yeah. It was the full title is The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole.
Yeah, that's right.
13 3/4.
And if they didn't call it, if they didn't have secret in the title, it wouldn't have become a bestseller. I reckon.
No,
it was
not.
Because it's that impulsive need to peer into someone's private writings that sold the book.
It was a kind of diary then. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was exactly a diary. It's written as a diary.
Yeah, basically. It was.
So he was like the fictional English Anne Frank.
And the thing was, it was a simple read. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah, although as they got older, they did get more layered and complicated, and they got into politics. But I really like those books. It's one of my favourite books. I'm going to quickly move on to Bram Stoker's Dracula, because that's also a diary.
Yeah.
And it's not in my list actually of my favourite books, but it's one of them, and that's related to me. Like Adrian Mole is related to Marshy being in Leicestershire. If you open the first page of Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is also partly a diary, it starts on the 3rd of May, which is my birthday. Not the year, obviously. So that's how I relate. I first related to, and I loved. Yeah, Dracula's a classic. Obviously, it's one of the most classic, certainly the most classic horror books ever written. So, and that starts like a diary, and it gives you that, having a diary like Adrian Mole has that kind of like you're delving into something secret and private, and it makes it more impulsive. And the smoke screen. But anyway, anything else about the book that appeals to you, Mr. Marsh?
Well, it's one of those things. As a kid, when you're reading it, it was enjoyable and fun.
Yeah. The thing is, I think it gave us, because it was published in 1982, right? So I was born in 76, so I was 6 years old. But it was still legging about when I was 8, 9, 10,
Yeah,
11.
Yeah.
yeah. I
So
didn't read it till I was a bit about
I didn't
12.
read it till I was. Yeah, exactly. I didn't read it when I was 6 when it was first published.
No,
So
of course you wouldn't. But
uh,
it's one of those. I think I first discovered it in the school library.
yeah,
Oh,
it was in
cool.
every
You
school
know.
library. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And
me
the thing
too
is,
as well.
it gave you someone else to relate to who was a similar age, or to know what to expect was coming. I mean,
That's it.
no one tells you how to grow up or what to expect, do they? It's just like one
No,
day you've got pubic hair and then muscles and stuff.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
it.
thing is, uh, unless your parents are really proactive and sort of take a lead in having a quiet chat with you about becoming a man and the rest of it, then
Yeah.
you know.
the birds and the
So
bees.
I think that was a rare book in that respect, that it actually gave us some insight into what was to come. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. It definitely was a good for us. It came out at the right time. I definitely remember reading the book before the TV show, but the TV show really
Yeah.
made it huge. And
Mm.
whoever they cast as Pandora, I had a bit of a crush on her as well.
Oh,
I
right.
can't remember
See, I
the
don't remember
actress,
that.
but I used to
I
watch
remember
it because
Johnny
yeah.
Briggs.
Oh,
That's right. Oh, yes, John.
was that Yorkshire? Oh,
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
that
I
was
think it
great.
was.
I didn't read the book of that. I don't know if there was. It must have been a book, but I loved the show. Yeah, that was good.
What about Baker Grove,
But a Grove lad,
Better Grove.
Biker Grove. Aha, aha,
which
aha.
unfortunately launched the careers of Anton Deck?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, I only
it,
ever remember the first episode of Biker Grove, which I watched, and it felt a bit. That was Wolverhampton, wasn't it, or Birmingham?
I think I had
The
a thing for Spooky.
spooky, but I mean, there was a posh girl, and she, her parents were like had to move her to this horrible dump of a town, and then she had to go to this youth club, and she hated being
Mm,
there. But then she fell in love with a bad boy, and ended
mm.
up snogging him or something, and it felt a bit like bit girly for me, so I didn't pursue it further.
Yeah, well, Ant and Deck are quite girly
But they
anyway,
were the
aren't they? So,
lads. Yeah, they were the lads.
were they really the lads? What was that
One of
first
them.
pop song we did? What were they called? I don't think they
Oh,
were
well,
called
let's
anything.
I
get ready
can't
to
remember.
rumble.
No,
Let's get ready.
PJ and Duncan, wasn't it?
PJ and Dunk. What is wrong with
To...
Because the
oh,
funny
come
thing
on.
is,
You'd love to have been
when
them.
when you think of PJ and Duncan, PJ stands for pajamas in England,
Mm.
or it used to. PJs, I'm
Yeah.
going to put my PJs on and go to bed. But I don't know what you think of. What do you think of when we say Duncan? When you hear Duncan, PJ and
Duncan
Duncan?
D. That's my rapper name.
Oh yeah,
For
that's
real.
right. Yeah,
Duncan D in the house.
yeah. If you're looking for a laugh, look up Duncan D, which
Serious.
is
No,
Shaolin Phil's rapper alter
no,
ego.
don't. No, it's not. No, I don't know him. I never met him. Actually, I heard he got killed in a drive-by.
Oh
Uh,
no! What shot?
I think
Well,
of
he was a
Duncan
video
Good.
game.
Go on. I was going to say Duncan Goodhue. Do you remember him, the swimmer?
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah.
was a sort of children's TV and other adult TV. Well, not adult TV. You know what I mean?
What? You've been watching the wrong.
Celebrity. But he became well known for his swimming prowess in the Olympics and that kind of thing. And he was completely bald, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And apparently that happened because he fell out of a bedroom window when he was a kid, and the shock or the impact or whatever caused his hair to fall out.
So maybe that makes you a good swimmer though, because if you haven't got any hairs, you're more like a dolphin. You can zoom through the water without getting head back.
I don't know where you're going with this, but it's a good theory. But swimming hats is all I'm going to say. Right?
I don't know what I'm dolphin.
Yeah. Right,
Anyway,
so who's
let's-
going next?
Shall I go next?
Cool. Yeah, go for it. And is Bram Stoker's Dracula one of your books then, Phil?
No, it wasn't one, but saying diary reminded me of that. I think authors is really my thing, and through my life, I've loved movies and games, but books have always been my first love. Since I read The Hobbit. But I remember being completely obsessed by a certain Mr. Arthur Conan Doyle, the Sherlock Holmes author, from a young age, and even reading his books today, I'm not that old, but even reading his books like recently, I still get caught up by his storytelling. It's all about storytelling for me, and he's got a punchy kind of wit, and that transcends time. And you read his, even though the books, of course, are dated, they're like 100 years ago or nearly. It's 80 years ago. They still hold up, and with the characters and with the situations and with the wit, and they're still so compelling to read. And not just talking about the Sherlock Holmes novels, all of his books. And if you go through his life, I made some little notes here about Conan Doyle. Born 1859 to 1930. He was born in Edinburgh. His family was scattered due to his father being a violent alcoholic, and he ended up traveling loads and studying to be a doctor. And then he was caught up in he went to various countries and caught up in some wars, and the Boer War, which is then he moved to Portsmouth when he was only 23. Southsea had a little practice, and he from 1882 to 1890 he was there where you guys are now, and he started writing Sherlock Holmes. But yeah, he killed Sherlock Holmes off because he got bored of writing him, and he got into other short stories. He went through a time where he was a boxer. He wrote stories about boxing. He went through a time where he was heavily into spiritualism in his later years, and he wrote lots of kind of mystical and kind of horror and ghost stories. He wrote books about Napoleonic general. He wrote the Lost World.
Lost World, yeah. I think that became Jurassic Park in the end, didn't it? It must have done.
Originally, it was made into. Is it Critchin made it into a? Michael Critchin made the book that turned into Jurassic. But I think he was in turn was influenced by Conan Doyle's book, and I think Jules Verne also has a hand in it with his Journey to the Center of the Earth. That had some dinosaurs, I think, and also King Kong might have been influenced. But so I think there's a mixed mash of things which influenced Jurassic Park, but probably Lost World was a big slice of it.
He was famously, you said he got into mysticism and that kind of thing, and there was a lot of that going on in Portsmouth. It was during the war years, both wars and between the war years, there was a lot of spiritualism in Portsmouth. So you could easily find a séance or a sort of mystic that would tell you your fortune. And he got into that sort of thing, and he was trying to look at the evidence and that sort of thing, treat it objectively and scientifically. But he was really into the Cottingley fairies, and famously he believed the whole Cottingley fairies thing.
Yeah, and he wrote a book about fairies as well.
Did he?
The Return of the Fairies or something.
Yeah, and so the Cottingley fairies, there were these two sisters, and they took photographs of fairies on a tree, they claimed, at the bottom of their garden. And everyone, well, a lot of people believed it. Nobody could disprove it. But on the second one who died's deathbed, she revealed the truth, which was that they cut out these fairies from a magazine and used pins and cardboard to pin them onto a tree.
That's right. Yeah, and he also he wrote something about the Mary Celeste or a similar story, which he kind of discovered, or this story about the ship with no crew or passengers floating about.
I'm glad you reminded me about that. I'd forgotten all about them.
And his book was the first one to talk about that or something. I didn't read that one. I loved his boxing stories. I'm trying to pick a favourite. Probably the first Conan Doyle book, like most people I read, was The Hound of the Baskervilles. That was the first one I read, and that's a great tale, and it's got a bit of spooky horror and a good twist, which I won't spoil if you haven't read it by now. Read it. I rate him. He's up there with probably my favourite author of all time, because personal reasons, because he got me into the love of storytelling. Love Conan Doyle. Love a bit of Conan Doyle.
Yeah, that is a brilliant book, actually. I love that, Hound of the Baskervilles. And the thing is,
so much other good stuff.
That was a really good. There've been lots of film and TV versions, but the best one I've seen was, who was the actor, the English actor out of With Nail on Eye?
God.
He played the bad guy in
Richard
in
E.
this
Grant.
version. That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And so this version, this must be like 20 years ago or something. But if you look on YouTube, you can find it, and I think it's the best version. It's excellent. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Frankly, Mr. Holmes, I covet your skull. Is his best little excerpt. If you look at that bit, it's quite good. Yeah. Anyway,
almost as good as we want the best tea in London.
This is the best tea in London. We use the cold tap. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna. Shall I go for it then? Okay. Right.
Yeah.
It's a shame you didn't say Bram Stoker's Dracula, because this would have been a bit of a longer theme. So my first one is a book called Magic.
Oh, with a K.
Magic with a K on the end.
Yes, I think I know the one.
By Aleister Crowley.
Right.
And my history with books is I used to be an antiquarian book collector, and I used to have a vast, vast library.
Yeah.
But now, through various life circumstances, I have almost no books now.
Yeah. Mine are all digital these days, pretty much.
Yeah, this was one of the ones that I had a first edition or an early edition of. And you can't usually get it in this country. I had to import it from America. But yes, this book is basically it's like a ceremonial ritual book. It's about ceremonial magic. Some people say it's occultism and the occult and it's satanic, but there's actually nothing like that in there really. It's just a lot of stuff like how to remove bad luck or something, and you might have to perform a certain ritual, and it just describes the ritual in detail. Like, you have to ring a bell 3 times, approach your altar, which you've made in your bedroom or whatever, and it's just got these sort of ceremonial procedures in it. So I think it's a really fascinating book, but then he sort of goes on to talk about stuff to do with the law, because he studied law. He was a graduate of law at Trinity, Cambridge. Really brilliant thinker and brilliant mind. And he finally sort of comes to the main purpose of the book and the conclusion, which is that do what thou wilt be the whole of the law. So he says that you can refine everything in law down to just doing what you will. And the whole phrase is do what thou wilt and be found a fitting place by life.
Wow.
Which, if you think about it, is pretty cool, I think. But yeah, and it is true, if you do what you want, you will be found a fitting place by life. You will end up where you work
important.
your way towards. So,
follow your dreams, follow your passions, and
it's all about having your own independence and control. You're completely sort of radically free to do what you want, aren't you? Apart from working within the confines of morality and the law.
Yeah, still trapped in these flesh suits, but we can have some control over what we're doing in this brief slice of existence if we think right. It's all about there's a lot of different interpretations of that, of people pretty so much say the same thing. It's like your thoughts can become your reality. So you can
and a bigger part of becoming a teenager, apart from the physical and social sort of stuff, is realizing your sort of radical liberty, your freedom to choose.
Yes.
And that conflict that's ongoing in your mind while you work these things out as you develop, is sort of what founds the arguments with parents and that sort of thing, I think. Anyway, that was a bit deep, wasn't it?
Very deep. I'm just submerged.
Aleister Crowley, right, was a fascinating character. A lot of people think he was a Satanist. If you mention him among practicing religious people, Christians, they'll say, they'll probably just walk off or not talk to you again. Yeah, they think he was a Satanist, but um, I don't think he was really. He founded his own religion. He owned a temple in Greece, and he founded his own religion called Thelema,
You were the what?
Thelema,
Thelema and
something like.
Louise.
Yeah, it could be. And he also owned that. There's a little cottage on the side of Loch Ness where the old Loch Ness monster lives,
Oh,
and he owned that cottage.
so he's the one that summoned the devil, also known as
He
Loch
is.
Ness Nessie, out of the water.
Yeah. So
Perhaps
I might have it written down
it's all
somewhere.
connected.
He summoned in occultism, because obviously you've got the Bible, which is supposed to be a factual history of Christianity, but then
Yeah.
there's a lot of written works about occultism and the other side of the coin, and in that genre of documents, there are three Satans, there are three devils, and he's supposed to have used a ritual to conjure one of them and then destroy it.
Destroy it.
Whether you believe that or not, I don't know, but yes, yeah, apparently so.
Wow. There's a lot of
And
interesting stuff in that.
it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Couple more things. That cottage was then owned by, I think it was Jimmy Page, the guitarist. from
Wow.
Led Zeppelin.
Oh,
All
God.
right.
That's crazy.
Because he was into Crowley's work, and he bought that cottage
I
after he died.
I was I went to the Cambridge Folk Festival, and they had this little club tent where you can get up and perform, like you put yourself on the list. And I did. I played that day, and I was hanging out at the club tent. There's only like everyone's on the main stage. There's only a few of us in there, and these two guys came on stage under a weird name, and it was Robert Plant, Jimmy Page.
Mm.
And
All right.
I
Very
was like, oh,
nice.
I think I know these guys. And they started doing acoustic versions of their Led Zeppelin songs to like 20 of us. And then suddenly the whole word got around the festival, and the whole place filled up. It was like rammed. Or everyone, it was like they came on in secret. And I was right at the front. That was so cool. That was one of the
Oh,
coolest.
that must have been something to have.
Amazing. See those two?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wicked.
Unbelievable. But anyone who's visited Crowley's cottage or his palace, if anyone ever does listen to this podcast, and they have, please let me know and tell me about it, because I would love to go and see the cottage. But
Maybe it's a trip. You need to take a
unless you
trip
have
there.
your own car. Yeah, I have looked into
Yeah.
it, but they don't.
Why don't you mention that in your other pod, talking
very
about
often.
mystical and myths and
Yeah.
the Nessie? You can do
I
a
may.
Nessie one. You should.
I may do, yeah. That'd be very interesting. One last thing about Crowley, and it's just a rumor, never been confirmed or disproved, is that apparently he was hired secretly by Winston Churchill during the Second World War to assist Churchill with understanding the dark arts and how to conquer Germany on that front.
Wow.
Because obviously Hitler was into that kind of thing and wanted to command any sort of power that he thought might be real.
Yeah, he was doing
and
experiments on dead bodies and things, wasn't he, to try and find shit
I
out?
don't- I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure,
was
but
doing some all kinds of weird
yeah.
shit, wasn't he?
But anyway, whether or not this is true, allegedly it was Aleister Crowley, because he understood symbolism and the way people believe things and how they have faith in things, and he really understood symbolism well, because there's a lot of that in ritual magic and occultism, and allegedly it was him that suggested to Churchill that he use the V for victory sign, because the Nazis were all doing the Heil Hitler salute.
Oh, so that was his comeback.
And of course, if that is true, and I suspect it is, because Crowley was a genius, Winston Churchill, what it says to me, or what it corroborates to me, is what I believe about Churchill, is that he fought the war on every front. In every way that they were attacking us, we had a countermeasure.
But he missed a trick though, because it is, to counteract the goose step, he could have done the duck waddle or something.
Oh yeah, he could have done, yeah. Yeah. Well, we got the slow march. We can do the slow march.
That's good enough.
Yeah. Right, that's me.
So we're going to do one more book each, or
Yeah.
are we going to do this in two episodes? What do you reckon?
I don't know. Let's do one more each, and then we'll have a look at a golden nugget, and then see how we get on.
That sounds good.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you got another one, Mr. Swampy?
I have indeed, sir.
Grandpa Swampy, as it is now. Oh yes, that's it. Let's tell our listeners.
Swampy
Grandpa
Senior
for the second time last week, was it?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Last weekend.
Your bloodline's secure. Mine is still Mine's still gonna drift away into the ether.
Same as mine. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Right. So I was having a think about this, and one of the authors is very similar to what your last sort of author was, and I believe he's upset a lot of Christians. Don't know. It's not that type of, but Dan Brown.
Oh, Dan Brown, yeah.
Yeah. And we know him for Angels and Demons and Inferno and what have you, but Digital Fortress.
Oh, okay. I haven't read that one.
No. And basically what it is, it's about the NSA. I think that's right. Yeah. And where they're trying to crack codes through this big machine. And there's this one particular code that they can't crack. And it's only like an 8-digit code. But every time it goes on, it keeps changing the character so this machine can never do it. And it sounds boring, but the actual aspect of it in the read is very intriguing.
Yeah.
Having to find the how to decode it and everything.
Yeah, because Dan Brown always takes something that based on something real and kind of builds a fascinating story around it, and a lot of suspense and action, and puts all the tropes, you might say, but he makes a damn good read, like Da Vinci Code, and he's talking about the Last Supper and who Mary was, and the big scandal that pissed off the church. But yeah, and he took it from real evidence, and I think he's probably done the same with this one, the safe cracker, code breaker kind of thing.
Yeah, in a way, I think he has.
I think you can't go wrong with his work. He's a good writer, and he's good at telling a story. Ultimately, what it's all about.
Yeah.
Have you read any Dan Brown, Mr. Simon?
I have never read any Dan Brown, and that's largely because I have probably only read about 3 fiction books in my life, because I just have never read fiction. I always wanted to read non-fiction.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So no, I haven't. I have obviously heard of the Da Vinci Code. And Angels and Demons.
Yes.
I've heard about.
Yeah, and this is a thing, because I mean, you've seen the movies, but this one is completely different. To any of them. It's not religious or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's to do with, the NSA and their cryptograph. And how it all stems. And basically it's like now, because they're looking over everyone. And if they can get this code out, then it means they can't hack anybody, they can't read emails, they can't do this and everything else. And I think that is where it sort of pushes it towards.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Privacy.
So has that been made into a film yet then? It hasn't.
I don't think it has. At least not that I know of. I may be wrong.
Let me check. Digital Fortress. It's a techno thriller novel.
I was just doing a little bit of research on Dan Brown myself.
Oh, it's 98.
No, it hasn't.
It hasn't. But,
it says his
Oh,
books.
I know. There's a television it's set to produce a television series based on it, but that was announced in 2014, so it's probably not going to happen.
No, that's it. But yeah, well, to me, it's one of the better books of his.
All right, cool. I haven't read it, so I'll check it out at some point, I'm sure.
My little bit of quick research with a large language model says his books are high pacing with suspense, intricate plots, and controversial themes.
And he has he does a good twist as well in most of his books that I've read. And they're fun and they're interesting, and you can learn something a bit because he always researches well. No matter if it's he takes some liberties. Yeah, I recommend a bit of Dan Brown. It's a good choice, mate.
Yeah. And compared to the other books that he's done, it's an easier read.
So that's useful to know for a non-fiction reader like myself.
Well, I was talking about non-fiction. I've got a non-fiction, which is one of my hidden gems of books that I don't know why it's not one anyone's ever heard of probably, but it's one that I've always stuck with me and I always really enjoyed it on several levels, which is The Bones of the Master by George Crane.
The Master.
Bones of the Master, and don't get any ideas with the title. It's a journey into secret Mongolia. It starts off a bit like a crazy story about this American poet who living in Woodstock, and he finds out next door to him there's this strange house which has been hand built by this old monk who lives there. Woodstock. Heavy.
Oh yeah.
Jimi Hendrix once pissed on that.
And he makes friends with this monk living next door, and he slowly finds out this story about what happened to this monk during the Chairman Mao. Around that time, the leap forward. I think maybe around that time, the monk. They basically were killing all the monks, and he lived in this temple. And he said goodbye to his master and then walked from Mongolia to Hong Kong. It took him a year, and he had to hide his monk robes. And he ended up in America, and he built this house. And he's a poet, and so is the author. And he had these secret poems called the 10 Plum Blossom Poems or something. And George Crane started helping him translate the poems. He kept his robes and the book of poems with him. But then one day he said to George, "I want to go back there and find my master's remains and bury them." So he goes back with him. So it's basically a travel story about this guy, these two very interesting characters that are very different. And this guy's never been outside of America on this journey with this monk. And it's just a fascinating. And what it holds it all together is the author. He's such a great writer. He's got beautiful prose and he scattered through the book of the poems that he writes from the monk. He's translated from the monk. And it's touching and it's lots of humour. And it's a wonderful book. It's got photos inside. You can see there's no BS. And I really highly recommend everyone. I've told lots of people about this book over the years, and they've all loved it. And George Crane, he's not known. He only did this book, and he did one other book called Beyond the House of the False Lama, which is kind of the follow-up. It follows his life after the monk passes away, and he basically goes off the rail. He leaves his wife and kids and just travels the world and messes his life up, basically. It's basically this second book's not as good, but it's brilliant if you want to look at someone's self-destruction. He just basically writes down how he's messed his life up, and I liked it for that. There's all these self-help books that make you go, "Oh, you can fix your life," but reading this guy's book will fix your life because it can't ever be as bad as what happens to him. But yeah, George Crane. If you like non-fiction, Simon, so you might get something out of it. But his books, they've never been published digitally, so I had to pick up the paperbacks, and I brought them with me. These are some of the few physical books I own because I love them so much. And that's my second choice.
Very nice. Right. So I am gonna go for a psychology book, which may surprise you. I have read quite a lot of psychology.
Doesn't surprise me.
But this one
No,
is by,
definitely.
is by this one is by somebody who was quite famous, and you may have heard of him, Timothy
Jung.
Leary. No,
Oh
Timothy
no.
Leary.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
And this book is called Exopsychology.
Right.
This is another one of your weird ones that if you're in the UK, you tend to have to get imported because they don't tend to sell them in the UK.
So where's Leary from?
So he's American, I think. So he was born in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Ah.
But I think he ended up living in California. I may be wrong. But there was a whole group of psychologists who sort of made their money, created their fame, and then lived in California. And I don't know what psychologists call it, but I call it the California School of Psychology because they're all a bit out there and a bit weird. And a lot of psychologists call it pseudoscience. It's not real science that's researched and is evidence based. So, but he was heavily into using drugs, hard drugs. Well,
yeah.
things like acid and LSD and that sort of stuff.
And Coke.
Hallucinogenics, I think mainly. So, but he was into using those to explore his consciousness, and that's
Yeah.
where he derived a lot of his theories from for his books. I'm not advocating for that. I've never done it myself, but it's so great that one brilliant person actually did that and sort of came up with some crazy theories. But he was well known for in the 80s, which was sort of a psychedelic era after the Summer of Love in the
60s.
60s and the
Yeah.
70s.
A resurgence during the punk era.
Yeah, it might have been the 70s actually, yeah. But anyway, he was well known for his phrase turn on, tune in, and drop out,
Oh,
which
okay.
was
Yeah, I know
which was
that.
his
Ah,
mantra.
yeah.
And
So
also
taking drugs. But they
yeah,
put that into TV, didn't they? They sort of wormed that into
I
a
think so.
TV,
Yeah. So he
or
had
vice versa.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was a doctor of psychology, and I think he was also a doctor of psychiatry. But so he was into sort of futurism type stuff like cyberculture, virtual reality,
And AI.
transhumanism. Yeah, well, he didn't really talk about AI, but he treated in his books, he treated the human system and consciousness as if it were a bit like a machine. So
Mm.
Mm.
he took that sort of approach. But as I recall, and I haven't read exopsychology for about 20 years, but it comes up with a new model for how the human consciousness develops on Earth. And it's sort of based on gravity and how your consciousness sort of emerges from your being, from yourself. And there are different stages, developmental stages, and it's really fascinating. But otherworldly.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
But I
what's the
found
book
it
called?
really useful. Exopsychology.
Oh, okay.
But you can, for me, I really identified with the stages that it
Yeah.
describes, and I could see which stages I had been through and which one I was currently at. And I
So
think
are
it
you
says
caterpillar, chrysalis, or butterfly, Simon?
that's exactly what it's like. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
It treats the human consciousness as like almost like a jellyfish type of thing that develops. But
Amoeba.
yeah, and it really sort of captures consciousness. Like, in psychology, we've had personality models for years, like Carl Jung stuff,
Yeah.
and other theories, but this was way out there. This is like 100 years in the future stuff. And his whole thing was the whole point of what we should be studying and what we're doing on Earth now is taking the human race into space.
Yeah.
And he was totally right. I mean, he wrote that, I don't know what year that book was, but it was 1977. So, this is not that long after the moon landing and
No.
way before all of the space race stuff and then
Yeah.
the space exploration stuff that's gone on since then.
Mm.
Even Hawking
But the
said
thing
it's in
is,
our best interest
yeah.
to colonize other planets and get out of this, or we're going to just we're going to have nothing left.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sorry,
and
mate.
I believe we're actually going backwards in the space race at the moment.
Mm.
You know, we've sent people to the moon
Mm.
in the 60s. We can't even do that today now.
True, yeah. But now we got the Mars mission you can sign up for, and one-way ticket.
Yeah, what would you
Right,
do if you
want to do one from Mars?
Well, if they give me a nice hot girl to go with and to repopulate populate Mars with, then it takes a few years to get there.
What was it? Red Dwarf? An alien woman with blue hair and six breasts.
Six breasts.
Show me more of this Earth thing you call kissing. That's brilliant.
I like how Red Dwarf there was no aliens, nothing else.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So that's the dude, and that's so read his stuff if you. If you're
sounds interesting, actually.
It is psychology for space. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
It's the model.
I'll have to have a look for
the
that.
model is where consciousness evolves through neurological circuits. 8 stages of neurological circuits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Cool. So is it time for now to have a nugget?
I think we better have a golden nugget.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Let's have a nugget.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Swampy, Shaolin Phil, and Simon the Cut, your hosts on Pompey Eclectic, the podcast, bring you our special feature, the Golden Nugget.
Welcome to the Golden Nugget, where we will... well, what are we doing?
Sorry, you go ahead. No, I was just going to go through some famous quotes or quotes from famous people about books.
Okay, quotes.
And what I might do is just do half of these and then half of our golden thread. And then we might have a part 2 to this book.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, because I feel we could go through quite a lot.
Yeah, I've just added another book to my favourite books as well, which I forgot about.
Yeah.
Which is
all right. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a 2-parter or maybe a 5-parter.
We could, couldn't we? Right. Okay. So golden nugget. So I'll tell you what. Try and guess who these were said by, if you can. So
fingers on buzzers.
Fingers on buzzers. If one cannot enjoy reading a book over and over again, there is no use in reading it at all.
Kipling.
Good shout. Good shout, but it's Oscar Wilde.
Oh, Wilde. Yeah.
The books that the world...
Wild man.
The books that the world calls immoral are books that show the world its own shame.
Jung. I call him Jung.
It's a trick question.
But probably not.
Because it's Oscar Wilde again.
Oh, God. I'll send you to the Tower of London in a minute.
Right, there's a different one. Having to read footnotes resembles having to go downstairs to answer the door while in the midst of making love.
Oscar Wilde.
Oh, it's a good guess, but it's Noel Coward.
Oh, they're similar. They were good buddies, I heard.
Yeah. Right.
I can feel the elbow in my ribs.
Yeah. Books, you'll like this one. Books are a uniquely portable magic.
Gaiman.
Who's Gaiman?
He's
Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman.
Gaiman.
No.
Neil Gaiman. He got in a lot of trouble recently, so I shouldn't bring his name up because he was groping some bird. But he did these Sandman books and
I don't know him.
loads of comics.
Probably for the best.
Right.
Right.
It just sounded like something he would say.
You'll kick yourself, Phil.
So can you say it? No, don't say it again. Just tell me.
Books are a uniquely portable magic. Steve.
Oh, was it Pratchett?
No,
Stephen
King.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I never heard that quote.
So, was that a dog in the background just now?
Yeah, that's my
Oh,
dog.
lovely.
Oh,
I'm just gonna.
No, bring him in.
I haven't brought my
I'll
special
be back
guest.
in 2 secs.
Okay. Right.
I won't bring my special guests out.
Right, I've got to do one more then.
Yeah.
A classic is a book which people praise and don't read.
Oh, I've heard that quote. Is it a lady?
No, it's a chap, a very famous author from the US, old-time author.
Hemingway.
Nope.
Oscar
Sawyer.
Wilde.
Sawyer. Who's the Tom Sawyer? Tom Sawyer author. That's what
That's
it
the
is.
guy, yeah. Mark Twain.
It's Twain. Twain. Yes, Twain. I got one. Ha ha ha. Oh, second guess though.
Yeah, well done.
Don't matter. You done it.
That's it for the Golden Nugget.
All right.
I
Thanks
think
for the golden nuggets.
Short and sweet one, and that leaves us some more for next part 2 episode.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to do? Let's do another book each, shall we? And then, if you've got one, and then we'll do Golden Thread, and I'll tell you what, we'll be pretty much done then, I think.
Well, okay. Okay. So, Marshy, have you got another one?
Well, I have.
Swampy, I should say.
Hang on. Bear with me, because I'll put my list away.
That's okay.
Because I have got a few.
Good. That's good. Yeah.
All right, but I don't. This one, I couldn't tell you whether the film was made first or the book was written
Ooh,
first.
maybe we can answer.
But I just enjoyed it. The Black Hole by Alan Dean Foster.
Oh.
The sci-fi film.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. If I've seen it or read it. I've got to remember.
It's
a very famous
very,
title, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. It was made by Disney in either the late 70s or early 80s, but it's just one of those things. I enjoyed the book.
Oh, so yeah, it's a 1979 film.
Yeah.
And the book, I know Alan Dean Foster, of course. He was he wrote many famous books, and
I know. It's just one of those films that just takes you away, and it puts you into the future. You've got the robots, and
it was apparently the book was released in the same year as the film, and it was a novelization of the film.
Because he novelized a lot of screenplays. He took the screenplay. So whether he did it, he had the shooting script and he made the novelization. So then when the film came out, he could release the book at the same time. So in that case, it's kind of an adaptation of the screenplay rather than the film.
But it was a good book. The film, never done so well, but it just takes you away.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it actually about, apart from being a black hole?
Well, it's about this space. Well, you say spaceship, but with this guy in charge and all the crew that he had on there, he turned them into robots, and they all had these masks on them. And he turned out to be quite an evil bloke. Really.
Oh, right.
And this crew that was sent there to check out everything, discovered it all, and it all went a bit Pete Tong.
Do they get sucked into the black hole, or do they find
a
new world?
I can't remember. I really wouldn't like to say I can't remember. I just remember I used to enjoy.
Oh well, maybe that's something we'll leave our listeners to discover for themselves.
Was it actually for kids then? I guess it must have been if it was Walt Disney.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. But yeah, it's just another one of those childhood things that used to.
So that must have
read
been
some
a
Alan
long time as well, because that was 79, and you were born 2 years after us, weren't you?
Well, he was born. Yeah. Well, Alan Dean Foster. I've actually sorry, mate.
Go on. Carry on.
I was just saying, Alan Dean Foster was born in 1946, so he was around for a long time. But I actually read his adaptations of Alien and maybe Aliens as well. So he did the books of those.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So,
and just to put that in context, Alien was 1979.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he, as you said,
Aliens
he
was-
wrote that, and also apparently he ghost wrote Star Wars: A New Hope for George Lucas,
Mm.
Oh,
which
Wow.
was also
Oh, I
1979.
get. Wow. Okay. I thought he just adapted it from the screenplays, so release a cash-in book for the.
yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe he co-wrote some of them as well. Interesting.
Very
That's really
possibly.
interesting. So George Lucas is a bit of a con man, really, isn't he? But these are just my personal opinions.
Mm.
Sorry, George.
A very rich
But,
con man.
So he
Yeah.
had a ghostwriter for Star Wars: A New Hope. He didn't write it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
Written by this guy,
that's a-
Alan Dean
but-
Foster.
Oh, that's interesting because he had his big indie hit, didn't he, back in the day when he started out, Lucas. He did Graffiti, American Graffiti, didn't
Oh
he?
yeah.
And that was a big darling indie hit. And then he
Mm.
got he got his science fiction base, and that was itself was based on a lot of other films and famous like Hidden Fortress, Kurosawa, and so very strange. But yeah, he's more of a director than a writer. He's not really
Yeah.
especially Harrison Ford famously said, "You can write this shit, Lucas, but you can't say it."
No, but the thing is, what he's done there is he's hired a ghostwriter for a nominal fee, one-off fee, and then he's
Yeah.
got the bloody copyright to the whole Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Might as
Bastard.
well. Well, if
Bastard is what I
Alan
say.
might have got a nice paycheck, he's not going to say anything.
Yeah, guess how much?
But it happens. I work in the film industry
20 quid.
here, and it happens all the time. It happens all the
Yeah.
time. I know this
I
poor
know,
guy
I know,
who's
I know.
been written so many big local films, but he hasn't got any credit.
Yeah. But I'll
They
tell you what,
grind you down,
Lucas
these
kept
directors
he
and
kept that one-
producers.
He kept that one quiet, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
best part of half a century he's kept that quiet for.
And a galaxy far, far away, he
You're-
didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Right, who's up next? Phil.
Is
Have
it
you
me
got one?
again? Oh, God,
Yeah,
that's-
have you got
all
one?
right.
Yeah.
Well, my other favourite writer is a lady. So let's get some
lady.
let's get some lady love in here.
Lady
She's
love.
called Ursula Le Guin,
Yeah.
and she's phenomenal. Out of all the writers I've ever read, her prose is like the most silkiest and amazing. It's just reading her book it's beautiful. It's like entering someone's dreams. The way she writes,
Say something.
it just glides. It's like wiping your ass with silk, as they said in
Oh,
Matrix.
no. I watched
okay.
that yesterday.
Mm,
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause it's
really?
the trilogy's leaving Netflix soon, so I've been
mm.
watching the first one.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Le Guin started out in the what year was she born? Long time ago, I think 1929, and she loved science fiction, and at the time it was definitely a male writer
Mm.
domain. Women didn't have any way in, so she called herself. At first, I think she called herself a male name, Theodore or something, and she started
So
writing
it's
these kind of
pseudonym then.
science fiction fantasy stories. And she came to attention when she wrote this book called A Wizard of Earthsea in 1968.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I first heard about Ursula Le Guin. I was working in a factory, and there was a factory called Zyratex. You might have heard of Simon
I have.
and Marshy.
Formerly
Yeah,
IBM.
but they-
unfortunately.
Yeah, there was a guy working in there, and he was deaf, and he told me he was a nice guy. He told me because he's deaf, he's read a lot of books. All he does is read books, and he said, "Do you know my favorite? Do you know what my favorite book is of all time?" He said, "It's A Wizard of Earthsea." So that stuck in my head,
Mm.
and I was in a second-hand bookshop, and I found a copy.
Mm.
I came across it. Oh, that was the book that guy said.
Yeah,
So I
right.
picked it up, and I read it. It was all right. It wasn't brilliant. It wasn't amazing. Basically, this is before Harry Potter came along, and the story of A Wizard of Earthsea is about this young guy who goes to a wizard school to become a wizard,
No,
and it's pretty much
Yeah.
Harry Potter. Yeah, but it was darker. It was about this. He's kind of an anti-hero, the main guy called Ged, and he conjures this evil kind of spirit, and it follows him. and he's trying to find a way to stop it because sending him a bit crazy. But he goes through the wizard school, and because he's bragging, he's a bit of an asshole, and he shows off like, I'm the best wizard, and that's why he conjures this kind of evil, malevolent force. And I thought it was a good book. And then years later, I found a sequel. She'd written a sequel, which was very different. It was featuring this girl, and the Ged turns up in it later, but it slowly links up. But that book blew my mind because that was just a different level above. And through her career up into the 2000s, she wrote a lot of these Earthsea books, and they formed this overarching story. And the ending just made me cry. It was so powerful, and I just love her writing.
Really?
And she'd not just the Earthsea books; she did tons of other books. She did, and her books really relate to the real world.
Yeah.
She did a fantastic short story called "The Word for World is Forest," sort of environmental stuff. She did a book called "The Dispossessed," which is about these two planets, and they're kind of finding a way to not fight each other. And they were, I think one of the planets was asexual. It always touches on strange subjects and tackles like science fiction and fantasy from viewpoints we can really very human. Her books are like the characters we can really relate to, and she's quite deep. And you read her books, and she uses the medium just to tell these fantastic stories. And she's revered as a very famous writer. I think she's from Portland, Oregon. I think she's from. But yeah, she died back in the 2000s, and she did this amazing speech, which I'll post some actually, maybe if we got time. And she, even back in her last year, she was a tough old woman fighting for the writers' rights. Yeah, she's brilliant. I recommend reading some of her, even if you're not into fiction. There's a lot in her books which people can connect to, and she tackles all kinds of subjects. Yeah, fantastic.
Interestingly, you've finally put J.K. Rowling in the same category as George Lucas for me, which is bastard category. Because I've long thought that she just stole lots of stuff from Crowley's work and from other works that are occult based and English myth and mythology, and she just chucked it all together.
I read the first few books of the Harry Potters because I was caught up in the hype train, and I kind of enjoyed them. And I like the twist. She tells a good story, and she has a good kind of whodunit kind of twist. But they're all the same pretty much. They go the next year of school, I go back again, and I found myself getting bored of them.
I've never been into it, and actually I've always felt
you're not
no, and I've always felt mild contempt for Harry Potter. But I've
had no. Unfortunately, I had no
choice
way of avoiding it. I had to watch it.
Oh, you watched it, yeah.
I did see the first. I've seen the first film and a couple of the others. I've never read the book because I don't read fiction.
There's a reason why they did so well, apart from all the hype. They are good. I mean, they're accessible. And they're fun.
The thing is, I get ostracised by people because I say, but in the films, the acting is fucking appalling. And people don't get that at all. They think the acting's brilliant. See, look.
Well, it has some good actors in them.
He hates me now. Sorry.
No.
Well, there's some good actors in them. Even Rick Mayall was cut out apparently, but he was in one of the Harry Potters.
But I'm thinking of the kids mainly. Their acting is shite.
Oh, Hermione and
they could have got really good actors, young actors, to do that, and they didn't. They chose those three probably because of the way they looked, and they were shit.
The thing is, they're cashing in on it again now by making a TV series of it.
Oh yeah, doing it all again, with new, maybe good actors.
That might be good if it's got better actors.
Watch it.
Yeah, I might have to.
Yeah,
but no, if you're gonna watch Harry Potter, I'd say skip them, get into the Earthsea books because they're a lot more rewarding. They're harder, especially the first book takes its time. But once you get hooked into her world, the Earthsea books, I think there's 5 books and a book of short stories, which inspired my Mookie books actually. So that's what I'm trying to do: 5 books and short story. I haven't copied her, but maybe I've copied her. Oh no, maybe I'm going to be the next J.K. Rowling or Lucas. Oh shit!
Don't be those.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
But you'll make lots of money.
The thing is, even that little, I don't know what it's called, but that little ball thing that they chase around when they play lacrosse, in the air.
Quidditch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, what's the ball called?
yeah.
Is that called Quidditch ball?
Uh,
Anyway,
No.
no, the
yeah,
game's
but
called Quidditch.
even that. I mean, it's lacrosse, right? Which is an old English game, I think, and
We're on broomsticks.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
and the ball thing. I know it's got little wings, but it to me it's just like the thing out of Star Wars that Luke Skywalker fights with to practice.
Oh, yeah. That's, yeah.
With his
And all
lightsaber.
she's
Or the
done,
thing in Phantasm.
all she's done all the way through is what I started doing in my last. I haven't written poetry for ages, but in my last few poetry collections, I wrote. No, actually not in one poetry collection. I tried this technique, which is you combine three things. So you have a person who is your muse, and an object, and a place, and then you write about something with those three in mind, and it sort of it makes it more complex and really interesting, but it's sort of an amalgam of ideas, and I think that's really what she probably did. Taking a lot from occultism and sci-fi and all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm not denying that she's crafted the books well, and she's obviously written captivating stories out of it all. But
Yeah, and she was a single mum at the time. She it's quite interesting what she went through to make those books. So writing a book's not easy. So
no,
you got to respect her, even though if she's pilfered some ideas.
Yeah.
Fair play to her. Really, she did it.
Yeah, but what did she sell for that? I mean, Robert Johnson sold his
Her
soul to the
soul.
devil for his guitar prowess. She must have sold something, or did she find evidence of aliens, or what? And then the government said, "Okay, what do you want?" Or come on, what happened? How did that happen? Because it could have been anyone.
That's
There
true.
are thousands of single mums out there who are thinking, "I'm going to write a novel."
But not all of them sit their ass down and write a book.
I'll bet a lot of them do.
Yeah, probably right.
Anyway, yes. So let us have a quick interlude. Here we go.
The Three Amigos, our very own rock power trio, the Huey, Dewey, and Louie of the podcasting world, the Shrek, Donkey, and Puss in Boots of the sound waves, the Three Musketeers of comedy, yet more like D'Artagnan, the Chipmunks who sing their way through trouble, the Three Wise Men bringing gold, Frankenstein, and Grrr, the Top Gear of eclecticism, the Destiny's Child original lineup of popular discussion broadcasting, the magical golden trio, the ultimate artistic triptych of the masters, the threesome you always wanted but were afraid to ask for. Right here and now, Simon the Cut, Shaolin Phil, and Swampy bring you Pompey Eclectic the podcast. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Oh, I quite enjoy it. Is that the first time
Yeah, I like that. That was good. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I'm going to give a credit there to 11 Labs, who are superb.
I might have to bleep out some rude words.
Yeah, maybe.
He said fuck.
Yeah,
oh,
because
no.
your mum's
Damn.
listening to this, probably. Oh, no.
Shit.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And she probably thought we were nice
Oh.
boys until she sees us unleashed, unshackled on the airwaves. Right, I'm going to do my last one of the day then, which is, and Phil's going to hate me, but it is Jean-Paul Sartre, French philosopher, and his book called, in French it was called La Nausée, which in English is nausea, or the sickness.
Nausea.
And
I feel sick.
this is probably one of my only ventures into fiction, because this is a philosophical fiction.
Wow. Wow. I'm not angry anymore.
So he did write plays, but as well. But this was, I think it may have been his only novel actually. But it was about his doctrine of existentialism, which is a whole framework for belief and how you think about the world and consciousness and all that sort of stuff. which is an amazing thing. And I do consider myself to be an existentialist humanist, and have done for a long time. But this book completely changed my life, and it, among other books, like by Albert Camus, who was a similar kind of philosopher at the time, rival philosopher in a way, this sort of completely liberated me from the shackles of being indoctrinated with Christianity during my youth and teenage years, and brought me into the bold new world that is the 20th century, or was 20th century, and now is 21st century. So, I think it had a profound effect on me. And it's basically about a guy called Antoine Roquentin, who is a solitary historian in the fictional town of Bouville, which is interesting because it sounds like Bourneville, which was a town here.
Nice biscuits.
Yeah, and but actually, it was he actually based it on Le Havre, from what I've heard, which we all know and love from our booze cruises back in the day over the channel.
You love a bit of love.
And basically, Roquentin confronts the absurdity of existence, realizing that objects and people exist without inherent meaning or essence, which is part of what existentialism is about.
So you don't give a shit about us? Is that what you're saying?
But the thing is, your meaning has to be derived. Your meaning is
See ya.
The meaning you is ascribed to things by yourself through your actions and behaviours.
Yes, and they speak louder than words.
Exactly. So, so if you remember the old philosophy, I can't remember who was.
101.
I can't remember his name. I think, therefore I am. Who said that? Forgotten.
Sartre.
No. No.
Oh no, that's this guy.
You
know, son.
Yeah.
I think, therefore I am. Who said that? Come on, that's obvious.
I know. I've forgotten. How could I forget that? I'll tell you what.
Fred
My
Flintstone.
memory has been a nightmare this last year. René Descartes.
It's Descartes.
Yeah, that's it, right. So, anyway, so he said, I think, therefore I am. And of course, Sartre comes along a fair bit later. We're talking hundreds of years later, and says,
you think too
in
much.
response, we don't think ourselves into existence. So
Wow.
he says,
he went against.
He said, existence precedes essence. In other words, you're thrown into this world without any purpose or meaning, and it's up to you to derive what the meaning and purpose is for your life.
I agree with that. Because that's why there's all these preset like things you can join, like the Christianity or whatever. But you can't really find a way by doing that. You're pigeonholing yourself, and you need to step out of any kind of boundaries to discover if there is a purpose, even.
So a lot of that stuff from
and usually by doing that, you discover there isn't anything worth living for.
So
anyway.
a lot of that stuff from existentialism has gone into culture now, and it's actually what modern people believe anyway. But there are some other things in there which are only just becoming sort of part of culture, such as his views on authenticity and how important that is. And it's only really in the last 10 years or so that in leadership studies we started to talk about something called authentic leadership, and being authentic. And that's become really important because of social media, because everything we do now is in the face of media. We're on cameras everywhere. We're recording podcasts and posting on social media. So, your whole life is in front of the lens. So you have to be authentic, because if you look inauthentic, people are going to not like you,
Well, no, exactly.
So anyway, there you go. So what was I going to say? His the critical reception to that book, Nausea, was it was hailed by French intellectuals as a bold philosophical statement, praised for its originality and depth. Though some critics,
So if it's
some critics,
it sounds like a good gateway.
yeah,
Get a good gateway for someone like me who likes stories to get into your way of thinking. So the critics praised it.
well, some critics found its style alienating and its protagonist emotionally detached. But I think that was the whole point, because it's almost like it's almost like Sartre in this book is trying to describe psychopathy, like Roquentin as becoming psychopathic, like he becomes completely detached from the meaning of objects and people, and radically realizes the absurdity of the cosmos. And it's absolutely fantastic. But the other thing is, you mentioned a great writer on prose earlier, but this book, he fluidly flows between poetry and prose in this book. I don't mean that he writes poems, but the way he writes, with the lovely French language, which has been really well translated, I think, into English, it just sort of alternates. Well, alternate's the wrong word. It's a very fluid transition, constantly between poetry and prose, and it's like his consciousness fading in and out of this awareness of the absurdity of everything. Yeah.
Oh, now check it out.
Yeah, brilliant, genius, absolute genius book. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And that was written in 1938. How about that? Very long time ago.
Wow.
Anyway,
that's
it from me. That's my other one.
Okay.
That's my favourite book ever. So yeah.
So I think maybe we can end it there and then do another one of these, because we've got some other authors. I think
we've got a golden thread we can do as well.
Have we got?
Okay. Yeah, we're looking good. Oh, I don't know though. We're up to 1 hour 18. What do you reckon?
Well,
you've got to go soon, haven't you?
Yeah. I want to get some.
Why don't we save that for the next one?
Let's do that
and do it. We did it. Normally, the thread is the actual thing, isn't it? The thread.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, so
we'll
do it. Yeah, Phil and I have a different opinion about what the nugget and the thread are, but they were both Phil's ideas, so it's really his baby. Anyway, right.
No, I know what you mean. The thread.
Brainchild.
Last thing to do then before we go is, anyone got any favourite bookshops?
Wow.
Well, I suppose Waterstones that's all there really is nowadays.
Is there still any second-hand bookshops in Portsmouth and Southsea? There used to be some
Not
good
really.
ones.
There used to be the 50p bookshop Night Owls, which was amazing, full of
I love those old, like the one I said about when I found Wizard of Earthsea. There was this old musty bookshop, and Cambridge had a lot of them as well. And you just wander about and just get lost in these old bookshops, but they don't exist so much. There are some good bookshops in Vietnam, actually. There's a few really cool ones, and they have English books in them as well. Not a huge selection, but you find some, and there's a few second-hand bookshops around. So they do have them, but I can't think of a particular one.
I'm going to say Shakespeare and Co. in Paris.
All right.
If you've been there, but it is quite well known as the best little bookshop in the world, and it's awesome. An awesome little place. If you ever end up in Paris, you've got to get yourself down there. It's near Notre Dame
for sure.
Cathedral. Yeah.
All right. And also black books, of course.
Black books, yeah, we like black books, yeah.
Yeah. It's fantastic. That's one of the best British sitcoms, in my opinion. I love the humour.
I love that comedian. It's brilliant.
Dark as night.
Last thing to do then. Has anyone got any plugs for any of their creative works? Phil?
Well, I'm busy writing a short story it's set in the same world as the Book of Mook, called The Legend of Zuluzog, and it touches on a race of beings called Zogs who are mentioned a little bit in the Book of Mook, and one in particular called Zuluzog, and we don't really know his fate. He's only a small character in the Book of Mook, so I've fleshed it out and I've put his backstory, and I've answered a few lingering questions and plugged over a few possible plot holes. So it should be out next month. I'm halfway through it, so I've got to keep soldiering on. It's not a full book; it's like a novella It's about half the length of Book of Mook, maybe a
Yeah.
bit less. But it's going to be free for
Excellent.
you. Digitally, unfortunately, I can't do free paperbacks. I
Yeah.
would if I could. But one day I'm going to combine all my short stories. I'm planning to do more into one tome.
Excellent.
All
And in addition to that, as
Cool.
Phil mentioned, the Book of
Simon
Mook,
Simon
the
might
Book
have
of
something.
Mook is currently available
Yeah.
on Amazon, right?
For
Yeah.
more and 1st of December there's going to be a big blitz of mookiness into the whole digital storefronts across the world. So check out my website www.thebookofmook.com for more information.
Okay, excellent.
Cool.
I've got a quick one then. Area 51.3, the podcast, Alien Encounters.
Yeah. Is that out
First
soon?
episode is out.
We had a
No, the
sneak
first
preview.
episode's been out for ages. Second episode is
I thought,
in edit on the edit room floor and table, and is coming out.
Cool.
what's it
Alien
about? What's it about?
Encounters. No, it's just me
Wow.
hosting,
Oh.
and I look at different particular alien encounters that have occurred and been well documented, and other elements of encounters with life off of this planet, on this planet. And
Check out the movie Fire in the Sky. It'll put you off your lunch.
Yes, that's
As good as it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Simon.
yeah,
Back
all I was
to
going
you,
to say
sorry.
is I treat I look at all the evidence that I can find, and there's a lot of it out there now, and I treat it with an objective scientific view and sort of weigh it up, really. So yeah, I am a believer, of course, but I don't sort of say that they're all true. I kind of say, what's the evidence? Do we believe this or not? What looks good? What doesn't look good? And so on. Anyway,
I'm a
yeah.
believer.
Get
I'm a
yourself
believer,
onto
but
one of
a
your
believer
platforms. You can
before I
say,
try.
in fact, I'll do it for you now if your Alexa is turned on. Alexa, play Area 51.3, the podcast. Yeah, there we go.
And it does it.
Yeah,
It
it's
does. You
turned
can
on.
see that to
Just as we're ending,
Pompey
you can go
Eclectic
straight into it.
as well.
Brilliant segue. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Let's go. Right. Nice job,
That's
chaps.
brilliant.
Thanks for listening,
Yeah.
everyone, and we'll be back soon. It may not be part 2 of books next. It may be something else. I think it will be, but then we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
care,
Yeah.
everyone, and safe home.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye bye.
See you later.